Service is not about me. Service is not about the giver. It's about the recipient, isn't it? Service is about the recipient. So the golden rule is great to build that empathy, to understand where the other person is coming from. Then the platinum rule is treat others the way they would like to be treated. That makes sense, doesn't it? Now, if I'm serving you in the hospital, how on earth will I know how you want to be treated? Ask is the easiest way, wouldn't it be? See, by me asking you some questions, that will allow me to customize the experience for you. It's about a personalized experience. There's a story. I was in a taxi car not too long ago, going from an airport to the hotel. Not here in North Carolina, but somewhere else. And the driver had on the news station from Iran. Now, I don't speak Iranian, shockingly, right? But he had on this news station from Iran. What's the problem there? The problem was the car ride had nothing to do with me, and I'm the customer. That's the problem. Now, if he was using the platinum rule, the first thing he would have asked me is, well, would you like the radio to be on? Maybe I have a headache and I don't want the radio to be on. But if I say yes, then he could ask me, okay, what kind of music would you like to have on? Or do you want AM, FM? Do you want news on? He may have also asked me, well, would you like the air conditioning to be on? Maybe I would have said, well, no, I've been on the plane for 8 hours. I want some fresh air. Or I could say, well, yeah, put on the air conditioning. Sometimes I kind of get worried because some people put on the air conditioning to Arctic. And then you got to put on a winter coat in the car. The whole point is, everything you do for your patients, for their family members, should be geared 100% for what they want and for what they need. That's the platinum rule. Now, I figure that if I give my customers exactly what they ask for, they have to be happy, right? If you give people exactly what they ask for, they must be happy. Until I learned something. This is about maybe a year and a half ago now. I was in the D.C. area, and I went to visit a friend. It wasn't the best neighborhood. And I left my car parked outside, and I went inside the house, and I came back out maybe 45 minutes later, and guess what? The car was there. The front right wheel was missing. So I'm upset. If I could turn red, I would turn red, but I can't turn. So I put on the small wheel. The little donut wheel. I drove to the Toyota dealership, and I told the attendant, I said, listen, my wheel just got stolen. I need to order a new wheel. He said, sure. He went in the computer. He put it in. He said, it'll be here tomorrow. It'll cost this much. It'll be here tomorrow. Perfect. He gave me exactly what I asked for. As I'm leaving, the manager of the dealership looked at me and said, well, did you get everything that you came for? I said, well, yeah, my wheel got stolen, so I ordered a new wheel. It'll be here tomorrow. So the manager looked at me and said, well, but you also ordered the wheel locks, right? And I'm like, what's a wheel lock? How many of you have heard of wheel locks? Okay, so I'm not the only one. Yeah, it's a lock that you put on the wheel that prevents wheel theft. I didn't know that this was some issue in the community that manufactured this product. So I went back into the parts attendant and I said, well, I thought that we were friends. I told you that my wheel got stolen, but you said nothing about wheel locks. What do you think he told me? He said, and I quote, I was giving you what you wanted. So he gave me exactly what I asked for, and I was still upset. You can give your customers exactly what they ask for, and they can still not be happy. Have you ever experienced that before? Happens, right? So this tells me, and this is my key point number one, meeting expectations is not sufficient. I'll say it again. Meeting expectations is not sufficient. You must exceed. So as I'm driving home, I made up the double platinum rule. And the double platinum rule is treat others the way they don't even know they want to be treated yet. In other words, anticipate their needs. That attendant could have easily said, it would not have cost him any extra money to say, you know what, sir? Oh, Mr. Williams, because he has my name by now, right? Mr. Williams, you may want to also consider some wheel locks. And I would have said, well, what's a wheel lock? He would have explained it to me. And then I would have said, well, give me 30 of them.